Are you seeing what's happening to the market over the last 24 hours? Traders are taking profits. We're seeing outflows in BTC ETFs, along with XRP and the rest of the market seeing some profit taken. Why are they doing it? Well, maybe it's got to do with the SEC and ETH. Hola, amigos and amigas. How are you all doing today? It's Friday. You made it to the end of the week. Let me know in the comments down below how you plan to celebrate Friday. All right, user QX says, I have a lot to say about this XRP subject, but after thinking about it, I decided it doesn't matter because we know in the fullness of time what the outcome will be. That's if we make it there. Things that could derail us are WW3, biblical events, or something far out like a pole shift. The earth hasn't done one of those in a while. Just be ready for anything. Captain Cornchip knows what's up and says, looks like I'll be trading the pumps and dumps on XRP for the next year minimum then. That's because the court dates came out, dude. And we're going to be dragging into next year because you know the SEC is going to delay. All right, I will have that video linked at the end in case you didn't miss it, but let's get into the news. Bitcoin sitting at 63,902, down deep in the red. Sol even deeper in the red. And y'all know I dig redheads, but I don't dig the red heat map. ICP and Aptos bucking the trend. Fathom, you better believe it, up 12%. Arbitum down big as well. XRP sitting at 61.3. The train is back at the station. Boring AF is XLM at 12.8. Let's get to that news. Bitcoin faces decline as BTC ETF interest weighs. Ooh, JP Morgan coming out with some bad news. JP Morgan strategists have issued a warning that Bitcoin may continue to see its price decline. Bitcoin has retraced over 10% from its peak. Interest in spot BTC ETFs has also diminished. So now, was there a honeymoon period for the ETFs? When we look back at this at BTC touching the 70,000 several times, and remember, it's okay to touch it, especially if you're touching the subscribe button or the like button or yourself this Friday. It's okay to touch it. But the deal is this, has that hysteria, has that honeymoon phase completely worn out? This marked the largest 3-day withdrawal since the inception on January 11th. Concurrently, Bitcoin is undergoing its toughest week of the year, recording a 4% drop. The strategist at JP Morgan highlighted that Bitcoin is in the overbought territory. We've been highlighting it here on this channel that the market was in extreme greed, and that only can last so long before people pull back. But when you look at the heat map, hey, we're happy about this. If you're a SOL holder, you're happy. ETH, you're still happy at 33. HBAR, you're still happy at 10.6, right? I mean, there's a lot of winners still out there. Look at ICP, you're still happy at 10.13. But the deal is this, we're starting to see outflows happen, and we're starting to see a lack of interest happen. And in fact, 4th day of outflows. On March 21st, there was a net outflow of 94 million, and now fund outflows for March 18th, 19th, and 20th totaled 154 million, 326 and 261 million. That means this week, without today's data, we are at 836 million in outflows, almost a billion flowing out of BTC. Now, who is hemorrhaging the most? You know it's Grayscale's GBTC. GBTC has now lost 42.3 of its shares since converting into an ETF. Maybe that's because your fees are way too freaking high, Sonnenstein, you moron. All right. Garlinghouse steps in because we're talking about why the market is taking profits. And a lot of it has to do, right, with the BTC ETFs being overbought, the market being in extreme greed, a lot of new ATH action out there, some pumpage. People want profits. Hey, how do you pay your bills, everyone? By taking profits, using money. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse predicts the US SEC will lose the war against ETH. Brad's going to do everything he can to help out the crypto community because we know Ripple and XRP have been pounded by the SEC. In particular, Garlinghouse's reference to the SEC's defeat of XRP stems on the continuous fight between Ripple and the regulator. Remember, on the 13th, Torres said, you know what? Secondary sales are okay, but primary isn't. And that's all we got left in the case is the penalty for primary. What really sucks, though, is that the story I did yesterday, again, I'll have it linked at the end, the algorithm shot it down, by the way. So show me some love and watch that video. Anyways, we're looking at dates, everyone, until next year. Garlinghouse's later comments propose he sees similarities between the SEC's fizzled endeavor to classify XRP as security and its potential move to do the same with Ethereum. I think a lot of us out here could say, look, it didn't matter if the SEC won or lost when it was against Ripple. The fact that the delays took so much time and killed the bull run narrative because of all this, that's where the damage has been done. And a lot of you have been commenting on exactly that. Look, we're going to miss this next bull run because we're stuck with this lawsuit. Well, Brad and everyone were like, oh my God, we might be stuck with another year doing this BS, and it might be the same with ETH. This is what Brad said on Twitter. All right, this is really cool. Brad said the SEC picked fights with the industry and losing badly in the courts. That's not true. Remember, they won the LBRY case, and there's actually several others that they won. But I know what Brad is talking about, okay? But remember, though, most recently, the SEC got their ass handed to them by DebtBox. Yeah, the SEC lost, and they had to pay fines and DebtBox's legal fees because they abused the power of the courts. So for those of you out there that are like, bro, you only bring bad news, not good news. Well, I brought the story up with DebtBox. Did you watch that? And if you didn't, guess what I got for you, haters? A dose of shut the fuck up. Yeah, it's Friday, baby. We sing on Fridays. They're now fighting fellow regulators like the CFTC. They're not fighting the CFTC. They're just fighting them for money. I did a story yesterday about Gary asking for about $2.6 billion in hiring 4,000 more SEC agents to regulate crypto. They are falling behind international counterpoints. At what point will the SEC realize they will lose the war against ETH just like they lost against XRP? But thing is, Brad, they didn't lose the war against XRP. Secondary sales are protected. Primary sales, girlfriend, that's a big, big problem. Now, when we look at the price action of XRP, you can see exactly what we've been talking about. We hit some highs here early in March. How high are you planning to be this Friday? Naturally high. No, YouTube moderators. I'm not talking about naughty stuff. I'm talking about a runner's high. Yeah, runner's high. Jeez, everyone, get your mind out of the gutter this Friday. But did you take profits? Since the big pump of up to 74 cents, that's what we've been seeing most recently in the market, right? People have been taking profits since the pump of XRP. That pump from 74 cents brought us all the way back down to 57. So you had people take some massive profits, and now you had some more people buying the dip. So I want to know from you, what are you doing with all of this news that's floating around? What are you doing with the BTC ETFs? How are you feeling about the SEC and ETH? Are you still in hodl mode with XRP? Or are you one of the ones out there going, well, gosh, if the court dates are going to be lasting yet another year, and when we start zooming out with XRP, you're like, whoa, hodling hasn't really gotten us anything, but if you played the pumps and dumps, you'd be good, girlfriend. Let me know in the comments below what your strategy is, as XRP is now clinging on back to 60 cents. Yes, the train is back at the station. No mooning, no Lambo, no crap like that, because the case has got another year. We all knew there would be some outflows and some profit taken from the ETFs because, oh my gosh, since the inception of them, they have just been rolling up and up and up, and it makes sense for people out there to take profits. You know, not everyone is a long-term hodler, a believer in the moon. Some people just want to make some green and make their Friday a little bit more fun by using that green to get green. Shamrock shakes at McDonald's. Would you guys seriously get your heads out of the naughty, nefarious gutter this Friday? Jeez, come on now. But I think a lot of us are starting to see that, yes, profit taking is key in this market, and it happens all the time. You've seen it with BTC. You've seen it with other alts. What about Sol? Sol has made a very, very healthy run here as of late, and now is pulling back a little bit. People are taking profits. What about BNB? BNB hanging out at like 100 something, and now they're over like 500. So you know there's some profit taking happening. But what we want to see, though, and what we're hoping, I'll change how I said that. What we don't want to see and what we're looking at is making sure that the entire market just doesn't melt down. So I brought up the heat map to show you that, yes, BTC is down 5%. Yes, ETH is down more. Yes, there's some that are down even more than that. But there are others like ICP that are bucking the trend. And that's what we've seen since this whole ETF thing. It's not that the market is just following Bitcoin blindly up and down like it was before, but that you're starting to see winners and losers. You're starting to see separation. You're starting to see more maturity in the market as different things go different ways. Now, when it comes to what you're doing with XRP, I really do. I want to hear from you down below. Are you buying and hodling, or are you buying and taking profits? Trick and I always call it the tip and the dip. And the tip is where it's at, right? I mean, just the tip, right? Guys, I'm talking about trading. Get your mind out of the gutter. What's the problem? But for real, let me know in the comments down below, as today we get back into training. Carbon road bike. That's right, everyone. It's time to get ready for biking season. We're going to be taking the road bike out, hanging out between the storms today. So that's what I'm doing. Let me know in the comments below what you're doing, and I'll catch you cool cats later today as more news breaks. Naughty Nefarious Friday.